Hello everyone! Welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel. This is me, Annie, and I will be drawing for you today. Grab your tea, coffee and snacks and let's dive into today's video. So, as I promised in my last video, today I'm going to finish the Christmas Vibes card featuring my original character Ginger in some Christmassy setting and vibes. I have paused my process of working on this card in the coloring phase, and now it is time to do the line art and finishing touches and details. I've promised my friend and video editor Yara that it won't take too long, but now that I'm starting to work on it, I feel like I have this urge to work on finest details as I can. My guess that this is my hyperfix coming to the stage. But still, I hope it won't take too long. I have prepared here with me some colored liners, both fine liner and brush type, and I think I'm going to decide in the process which ones I want to use more, and I'm starting with the fine liner to see if I want to keep it neat and thin and light, or later on add some heavier lines with my colored brush liners. It is quite rare for me to do the colored line art, as I usually go with darker line out with either black or dark browns. I'm not sure why exactly, it's just for the longest time I had only black liners in my collection, so when I got these colored ones, I guess I was excited to try them out, but I was just too used to using the black ones, so hence they are quite rarely appearing in my videos, but I really need to start using them because I really like them. Those are quite expensive honestly, because they are coming from Sakura Pigma Micron brand and they are very high quality, like they are Japanese production and their liner quality is just top notch. I guess it's because of how popular the manga is, so they are producing a very high quality tools for the manga artists, and of course with quality there comes higher price, so they're not so affordable like many others, but if you have some extra funds I would recommend you try them out, especially if you use line art for majority of your artworks or sketching, because they're like very good. This is not a paid ad, I just honestly like these tools and I'm not a gatekeeper, so that's why I decided I would share my little input here. But I really wouldn't mind if they actually paid for that. So anyway, even though I'm doing it in colors today, I'm still doing pretty much the same thing as with the black liners. So I'm diving in right into the lining process, and I start usually with the face, then I proceed with hair and the rest of the finer, smaller details. And I usually go with my gut, but for picking the colors for the lines, I usually go with the little darker ones because I just like how it looks. But I usually try to match the hue of what I'm actually lining out. For example, when I'm lining out the face, I'm using brown color because it's like the same color but darker hue. And where I cannot really match the hue, for example on the white parts of the Christmas hat and Ginger's antennas, I'm just going with whatever color fits the current artwork. So I think I'm going to do it in orange or use the same brown color for everything, might as well. And for the line weight, I usually use the same principles in every art, whichever type of line art I use at the moment. I'm making the line a little bit thicker on a darker side or somewhere that a possible shadow is going to be cast, and also in the spots where the things are connecting. So I'm kind of following the form. If you want to make me a tutorial for line art specifically, that is my favorite part of the art, by the way. You can let me know down in the comments and I will try to make an art with a detailed line work and explain in the process a little bit more. Or you can subscribe to my other social media and join one of my live streams and then ask your questions there so I can explain you in real time. And it's also okay to change your plans on using some certain colors or liners. If you see while you're doing it that it doesn't really look nice or you don't like how it looks, it's completely okay to change your mind and try another thing. And if you're not sure if that will work out, you can always try on a separate paper, for example. But I have enough experience to not to have to do that, so I'm just going directly on the painting. And if I ruin it, that's okay too, because I can always try and fix it in digital now that I have a tablet and a nice software, which is Clip Studio Paint. That is also not a paid advertisement. I promise. I'm just sharing whatever tools that I'm using. True and real artists are never gatekeeping information. So if you have any questions about the tools that I'm using, feel free to ask and I'm going to answer that as soon as I see it. Because I don't support people who are gatekeeping information just to, I don't know what. I don't even have any reason to explain why would they do that. With this card, I think I'm going to use some help of digital effects later on after I'm done, because due to traditional medium limitations and probably my skill limitation, I wanna do these fairy lights shiny. I don't really have anything that could work the way I intended to. I'm just going to edit a little bit in the digital and add some shininess to the fairy lights and maybe some finer details, the ones that I really wanna stand out, like shine on her eyes, for example. Because that kind of stuff is quite challenging to do in traditional medium, just because it physically doesn't appear the way that I wanted to, and it's just way easier to edit finished artwork and add some, let's say, polishing if I need to. But I guess I could probably do it fully traditionally if I would to color the whole thing in pencil, because pencils are way more flexible in adding or removing layers, and I could easily erase some of the pigment if I had to, but alcohol-based markers don't really work that way. So the only way for me to add the shininess is to use something semi-opaque, which is acrylic paint pen light colors, and I'm probably gonna try it out, but we will see how this works out. First of all, I need to finish the whole line art and then work on some details with metallic golden color pens. Maybe add some details for the background and paint out the silhouette with white acrylic paint pen, just to add some of the contrast to the ginger silhouette, because for now background seems a little empty. And I'm probably going to fix the Christmas vibes lettering in the digital, because I don't really like how it turned out to be. I was thinking to add some white stripes to make it look like the candy cane, or just recolor it completely, because it came out a little bit too dark than I thought it would be, and it stands out too much to my taste. But that's okay. I'm going to solve problems as they come. A little bit of a life update. My recovery is going well. Sparrow and Mo have been very naughty boys and have found some new stray cats and fought with them, but everybody's alright. And when we finish the construction in our backyard, it's going to be a perfect catio for them, and they will not be able to escape anymore and fight with other cats like they do now. Looking at you, Sparrow. So when the construction team is leaving, I'm doing some cleanup just to keep my peace because all of the dust is coming in, you know, and I also want to keep the yard a little neater, even though it's still under construction. And I know it's going to be all dirty again tomorrow, but still, just to keep some danger out of the place, because if everything's laying around in chaos like they leave it to be, it's kind of a safety hazard, as I think. So I just try to make it a little more cleaner for them and for myself as well. Not to mention that one of the construction guys has fallen in our water tank because they forgot that they covered the manhole with gypsum board, which is not supposed to be stepped on, just so my cats wouldn't fall inside. And the guy has fallen in. Honestly, when I saw that gypsum laying down on the manhole, I thought that one of them will probably fall in, because this is literally a disaster waiting to happen. And of course I was right. So I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. So yeah, ever since then I decided that I would clean up a little bit after they leave, so they will be a little bit on a safer side, and I don't want them to hurt themselves anymore. And it's quite a workout, honestly, because while I'm placing stuff here and there, moving stuff, cleaning stuff, and taking out the trash bags, that kind of puts me into sweaty mode, even though the weather is okay. And I don't have to go to gym so much and worry about my activity levels, because usually I can barely hit my gym goals. But with this type of work, it's very easy peasy lemon squeezy. So something for a change for me. And as I mentioned before in my previous videos, after surgery I cannot really go to gym because I'm afraid I will hurt tendons or sweat too much that the plaster will come off, and I don't want that to happen. So while I'm trying to take care of myself, I still need to keep some activity levels, so morning walks and some cleaning up should do the trick. I hope I will actually stay more active, and I was thinking to put it into my New Year's resolution list, because I really need to start moving my body, because with all of my sitting hobbies this is crucial and I'm not getting younger. So kids, be sure to hit your gym goals or activity goals. That way you will stay healthy and young for longer, and you wouldn't have to worry about not being able to move your body when you're old. I know that sounds like too early to worry about, but believe me, whatever activity you are on, the physical activity I mean, will help you later on in your life. And that's an advice you really want to receive earlier in your younger age, before it's actually too late. And of course, it's always nice to keep learning new stuff as well, to keep your brain active. Just trust me on this one. You will thank me later. Thanks for joining my TED Talks, but back to the art process. Now that I'm more or less done filling with the details and the metallic colors, I feel like it needs some more lining out. And yeah, it's totally taking me longer than I intended in the beginning. I actually was hoping that the ornaments will look okay without line art, because they are shiny and golden colored and they were supposed to be standing out on their own. But now that I see it, I think they could really use some lining out. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm going to go back to my brown liner and outline each and separate bead, and I'm trying not to obsess too much on it being perfect, so I'm just going to do it one time. Otherwise I would do it forever, honestly. My hyperfix should be gone by now. But yeah, I think with the line art the ornament will look much better and more defined, so it doesn't look like shapeless blob. And this is what I mean when I'm saying that I'm a perfectionist. I'm just going to do things over and over again until they look perfect, and I really have to learn when to stop. It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? Jeez, I'm old. Does anybody even remember this meme? Okay, I promise that when I outline all the beads, I'm going to be done. For sure, 100%. I'm just going to add some shininess in digital, and that would be completely it. But for the traditional part, this is it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the process and my little chit chat, and you're welcome to hit that subscribe button, leave your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you want me to do that line art tutorial, let me down in the comments as well, so I will not forget about it. You know, Auntie Annie is pretty old and she can forget things. But I promise I do my best, especially in fulfilling requests that you are leaving in my comments. And for those of you who has reached this far, let me know down in the comments what is your favorite Christmas tree ornament or something that is popular amongst your culture, because I really want to start looking for unique Christmas ornaments for my collection. Okay, so now I'm saying my farewells and I'm wishing you the best day ahead and amazing week. Stay safe, stay healthy, wealthy, and happy. Call your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your friends. Tell them you love them. You know, the usual. Hit that like and subscribe button to make my day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!